Hi everyone. Previously we talked about international marketing. What is international marketing? Why is it important? And why should we go global nowadays? So now going to international marketing, we need now to determine which country or countries are we going to enter, and what are the different strategies that we could enter to the market of such countries. So for this week, our lesson will be country selection and entry strategies. So international market selection. That's our first subtopic for this week, which is the international market selection. What are the things that we need to consider in selecting a market, in selecting a country to make it as our market? So once you have carried out a preliminary analysis of your company, the next step towards internationalization is to choose the market or markets you want to focus on. Okay? So kapag na, of course, we need first to weigh in, or we need to analyze first our company. What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? And of course, what are the services or products that we can offer? So after that we analyze our company, we need now to choose what countries we will enter. What countries are we going to enter and make it as our market? For example, why is it important? Because, for example, of course, if your products being sold is, for example, pork, so syempre hindi ka papasok sa mga Muslim-dominated countries because mababudget ka na, talagang ma-strike out ka pa, di ba? So we need to determine and we need to consider a lot of things before we enter an international market. So selecting the right markets and learning how to reach out to them could determine the viability of your expansion strategy. So these markets will shape your international development, business planning, and growth potential. So of course, we need to properly choose the country to market. We need to learn their culture. We need to learn their purchasing power. We need to learn what are the pros and the cons in that market. We need to determine the practice, di ba? The habits. What are the available resources there? May kakompetensya na ba ta sa market niya na, or we will be the first one to enter that market having such products or service. So the strategies for selecting international markets. Before you try to identify your target market, think of a number of suitable markets where your product would work. Then think about how you could serve each one. So before tayo papasok sa isang market, kailangan meron na tayong mai-envision na market na gusto nating pasukin. And of course, how can we serve that market? For example, gusto ta pasukin yung market. For example, we will go Europe, France. So what is in France, or what is the culture in France that our product can help them? Our product will be in need of by French people. So we need to understand that, okay? No strategy is universally correct. Each country has its pros and its cons. Each country has its culture. Each country is unique to other countries. Each country has its needs, which can be not a need to other countries. So we need to consider that. We should be flexible in choosing a market, and we should be flexible in every market that we enter into. It all depends on the type of business you are and its marketing environment. Base your strategy on the resources available and the life cycle phase your product has reached. A wide variety of factors will determine your choice of strategy. So we will be talking about market concentration. So what is market concentration? Focus on a few select markets. This strategy will help you consolidate your company's presence in these markets with the aim of securing constant sales growth. So, pag market concentration from the word concentration also, magko-concentrate lang tayo sa iilang markets, iilang lugar lang. And then, we will be focusing on those markets as much as possible. We will dominate those markets and mas masisecure natin yung ating focus doon. And since magpo-focus tayo doon, we can have a great growth for that country. So what are the advantages of market concentration? Number one, you will gain in-depth knowledge of each market and can design or adapt your products to match. So of course, since magfo-focus ka doon, kumbaga pa full-time ka doon, so makikilala mo yung market mo. Makikilala mo, malalaman mo yung culture nila, malalaman mo yung tradition, malalaman mo yung mga values nila. And then, knowing those information, you can match your product sa ila. Diba? For example, here in the Philippines, Philippines is a family-oriented country. So, napakalaking factor natin yung pamilya. Ang values natin is more of family-oriented. So, kung may papasok dito na product, they should learn how to make their product as a family product. For example, kaya nga ang galing-galing ng Jollibee because although it is a Filipino company already, pero yung kung makikita yung advertisement ng Jollibee, it is really family-oriented. Tungkol kay lolo, kay lola, kay tatay, kay nanay, kay bunso, kay asawa, di ba? That's very family-oriented. Unlike with McDonald's. McDonald's is a barkada type. Di ba? Yun yung approach ng McDonald's. Barkada, lovers, di ba? Nagde-date doon, nag-break, di ba? So similar to that yung sa McDonald's. Pero knowing that Filipinos are family-oriented people, ang tendency ng Pinoy, mas makukuha ng Jollibee yung market nila natin na Pinoy. Because yun yung approach natin. And then nakita niyo ba yung commercial ngayon ng RC? Yung may 4 na baso sa likod, tapos yung nanay RC cola, ko ang ulo, tapos lobote siya sa RC na. So that is actually more of a Japanese type of commercials. Yung mga weird na commercials that is being dominated in Japan. Pero hindi siya nag-click sa Pinoy. It's because horror or weird stories is not that common to Pinoy. Pinoy is more of a rom-com, romantic comedy. Di ba? Kaya nga also yung romantic comedy movies. So yun yung mga factors that a lot of Filipino products are being integrated to the market. Costs are reduced across logistics, management, and operations management. You can dedicate more resources to market promotion. Of course, since mag-focus ka doon sa market, mas makakalagay ka, dahil konti na yung market na gina-target mo, mas mabibigyan mo ng right amount of money, yung promotion, advertisement, and so on and so forth. And you can gain increased risk control of your international activities. Now, factors favoring concentration. International demand is concentrated on a small number of markets with stable performance. So of course, nafo-focus na siya sa isang market or sa few markets, then yun na yun, doon nagko-concentrate. The market has several potential customers. Your product has a long life cycle. There is strong competition. Your company is small with limited resources and so on and so forth. Now, we will go naman yung sa kabaligtaran ng market concentration. We have the market diversification. Market diversification introduce your market to as many markets as possible, perhaps with small shares in the majority of your markets. So sa market concentration, few countries lang. For example, Southeast Asia ka lang. Pero sa market diversification, yung focus mo is napakaraming countries. So pwedeng Southeast Asia, including Asia, the whole of the Asia already, Europe, ano pa ba? Russia, and so on, India, and so on and so forth. So what is the advantages naman of market diversification? Number one is possibility for rapid sales growth. Since malaki yung market mo, napakalawak ng target market mo, of course, there is also a big tendency na mabilis yung kikita ang isang organization. Mas mabilis yung kita mo kasi marami kang customers. You could sell at different prices and take advantage of the fluctuations in exchange rate. So what do we mean here? So syempre, each country has different exchange rate. So for example, ang US, 1 US dollar is 50 pesos. 1 euro is 70 pesos. 1,000 pesos is equals to 1 yen. I'm not sure. So each country, kung iuuwi mo yung pera nila dito sa Philippines, iba-iba yung value, iba-iba yung amount. So you could have different prices. Example, doon sa Japan, that your product is priced at 10,000 yen. Doon sa US, $200. Sa euro, that could be 150 euros. So, ma-take advantage mo yung prices at saka magiging advantageous sa'yo yung exchange rate. And of course, the risk diversification, the more market you have, the more chances na magiging successful yung company. Because kahit na malugi siya, for example, sa India, kung naging successful ka naman sa US, kayang tabunan ng income mo sa US yung lugi mo sa India. Okay? And those are the factors favoring diversification. Hindi ko na siya isa-isayin. I know you can read it and you have already you can understand those things na. So, the main criteria for selecting international market, ano yung magiging basis natin sa pagpipili ng market, ng country na i-market natin? We recommend conducting an initial global market selection process using the following criteria. Ito yung sinasuggest na criteria. We have the environment and market analysis. We need to put together a short list of countries that present a good concentration or potential concentration of your target market. So, like sinabi natin kanina, we need to list down yung mga market or yung countries na gusto nating pasukin, na pwede tayong mag-concentrate doon, na malaki yung chances of being successful in those market. Analyze the variables for each country, yung GDP growth nila, country risk, political factors, and other factors. Okay? So we need to consider those variables in each country na nilista natin. And in this first stage of pre-selection, consider countries that interest you or have good market potential. So ano ba yung gusto out of those na nalista na natin that is a potential good market? Ano yung mga preferred natin? Yung personal selection. Ano yung mga gusto nating countries at bakit natin gusto doon? So next, we need to consider yung market appeal, which includes the demand for your product and the risk associated with it. Of course, dapat yung country na pipiliin natin, bibilhin yung product natin. And of course, the possible operational difficulties, including market legislation. Of course, for example, paano naging difficulty yung market legislation? For example, here in South Cotabato, pumasok yung SMI. Tapos biglang provincial ordinance under pa doon si Governor Daisy Avance Fuentes, banning open pit mining. So na-stop yung operation ng SMI. So tigil operation ng SMI. So that's one potential market legislation as a difficulty sa pagpasok sa international market. We have also the state level protectionism, the ease of doing business, procedures for starting a business, taxes, administrative costs, and the intensity of local competition. So, for example, also here sa ease of doing business, ito yung gusto nang gawin talaga ni President Duterte during his campaign, yung one-stop shop. Idea niya yan, yung one-stop shop, wherein kung magre-register ka sa business, dapat all of the agencies, concerned agencies na kailangan mo ng permits and licenses, nasa isang lugar lang para hindi ka na magkato-kanto sa kada lain niya lugar-lugar. So isa na lang. That will make your business registration easier and faster. And of course, we need to analyze the competition. Of course, we need to know kung tayo lang ba yung nag-o-offer ng ganyang product, konti lang ba, or masyado ng marami. So to analyze competition in your market, identify your main competitors and describe them, analyze their economic evolution and sales over the last 3 years, and detect their distinguishing factors, including prices, channels, market maturity, financial position, development potential, and plans and our expansion strategies. So dito, I know that you are already very familiar with here because parang similar siya into your SWOT analysis, di ba? You have your opportunities and the threats already. So here, nafo-focus tayo sa may opportunity pa ba tayo sa market na yan? And ano na ba yung mga threats na yan, including the competitors? Because competition is one big factor before we enter into the market. And we have distribution channels. Of course, we have discussed this in our distribution and purchasing subject and the importance of supply chain management and the distribution partners. So your choice of distribution channel will determine how your company expands in the market. Of course, kailangan na ngayon, especially nowadays during the pandemic, distribution is very important. Kaya nga lumilitaw yung mga delivery services like Food Panda, Sugo Marbel, Sugo Surala, ano pa ba? Di ba mga ganun yung mga delivery products, yung mga, di ba? Uso na ngayon yung mga delivery. So similar to that, how are we going to bring our products to our customers? Paano natin dadalhin? For example, ang Dole. Ang planta ng Dole is nasa Polomolo. Paano yung distribution niya? Because it has a lot of international market. May US sila, may Japan silang market, I think may Australia silang market. So paano nila dadalhin from Polomolok going to those countries? So again, your choice of distribution channel will determine how your company expands in the market. And of course, track the supply chain of your product from its origins to its final customer. Develop a clear idea of the intermediate operators and their prices. So similar to that operators, yung mga JRS, to go, JNT, LBC, and so on and so forth. Analyze the existing sales structure in the country and how this could be adapted to your product or service. There are a number of possible distribution channels. We have international distribution from your own market. So, example, ang market mo doon is US. May mga delivery services doon. So you can contact with those delivery services na doon mo ipapadala. And of course, a local distributor in the target market, your own commercial agent. So it's either your own company, kung mayroon kayong subsidiary company that offers distribution or delivery, or your partner na talaga. Okay? The internet, which is very uso ngayon, yung mga online marketing, di ba? A subsidiary or delegated company, like what I have said, and the creation of a joint venture with a local partner. So again, joint venture is para siyang PPP partnership, public-private partnership siya. Pero here, business to business lang. So for example, ikaw ang supplier, tapos siya delivery partner. Parang ganun. And again, we need to discuss or we need to analyze the demand because this will be a very big factor bakit mo papasukin yung market na yon at a big factor why you will stay operating in that market kung may demand. Without demand, no businesses will survive. So you will need to analyze the current and potential demand of your product in its source market, as well as its profile and expected evolution. This information should confirm that your pre-selection process was successful and that your chosen markets are suitable for your product. You will learn how best to design your subsequent marketing strategy based on price, presentation, promotion, distribution, and so on. We recommend that this initial analysis is backed up by further research in the market itself or through intermediaries. This will help you assess whether your initial analysis was correct. Of course, here in our in your course, BSBA, I know that you have already a lot of subjects, a lot of lessons about demand. So I will not go further with that. What I'm trying just to say is that we need to analyze the demand of that particular market or of that particular country so that we will determine kung kikita ba tayo sa country na or hindi, di ba? That's just the basic concept. So there are 8 strategies to enter a new foreign market. I will not go into detail with this. I will leave this to you. These are just self-explanatory. So I will just go magiging mababaw lang tayo dito. So I want you to go further. Okay? So again, we have you could franchise your brand. So you know what is franchising, similar to Jollibee, 'di ba? Ang different branches of Jollibee is owned by different people. Nagfra-franchise lang sila. And of course, direct exporting, padala mo lang, that's direct exporting. Partnering, similar to what I have said kanina, may partner stores ka lang doon or partner delivery agents. Joint ventures, just buying a company, bumili ka doon ng company, then yun na yun. Of course, there are downsides. So those are the similar piggyback licensing. So we consider licensing. So this is the licensing. So these are the different factors. These are the different things that we need to consider in choosing a market. And when we choose already a market, we need to determine how are we going to enter to that market. Because, for example, here in the Philippines, we want that it should be the law requires that companies here should be 100%, I guess, 100% Filipino. So kung may gustong pumasok na market dito, medyo mahirapan sila. So, kaya ang ibang, there are a lot of ways, like what I've said, there are a lot of ways how to kill a cat. So, marami silang ginagawa in entering the Philippine market. So, like that, we need to determine again, in this lesson, what countries will we enter and how are we going to enter it? Okay? So, I will leave that to you already. So, thank you and have a blessed day.